So how do we use a sound wall in the classroom? Well, some uses are to reinforce that English is a speech to print language. When you have a word wall, that is print to speech. So every word that starts with an S goes under the letter S, even though we typically think of S as representing a word like she doesn't make the S sound. So that can be confusing to students because we are speech to print, not the other way around. We learn to talk before we learn to read. Helping students to match the graphemes to the phonemes, like I said. And there's a document that you'll have access to that helps you to see the percentage of use. One thing that I like to point out is the sh sound. We always teach students that sh is represented with SH, and that is true at the beginning of words, but the most frequent spelling for the sh sound is actually TI, like in station, vacation. So TI is the most frequently used grapheme for sh, but that comes in the middle of words. SH typically shows up at the beginning of a word. The sound wall is a great reference for independent writing. So when students are trying to write something in their journal or for an assignment and they want to write a word, but they're not sure what grapheme to use for the sound that they hear, they could think about the features of that sound in their mouth. They could go to the sound wall, find the picture that represents that sound, and then they could look for graphemes that the class has together listed underneath that sound. Sound walls can also be used as a reference when you're reading an unknown word. You get to a word in a book and you're not sure what that word might be. You could look for the graphemes and then look for those on the sound wall to see if you can find a corresponding sound. We've been learning a lot about orthographic mapping and how the brain stores and learns words, and we know that attaching the sounds to the letters is essential in students being able to learn and remember words that they can read them as if by sight. And having an anchor chart like a sound wall in a classroom really helps students to internalize those features of language so that they will be able to better store those words in their long-term memory. This is just a sampling of ways that a sound wall can be used in the classroom. The most important part of having a sound wall is that it is something that you and your students are able to use as a reference, as a tool, as a way of learning and remembering and how to break the code of English. So some resources that I used and that I suggest that you look into, the book Speech to Print, I have it right here. Speech to Print by Louisa Moats is a huge resource in understanding how our language works and how we can help students to be increasingly efficient and effective and confident and capable readers. Pam Kastner, who is the Pennsylvania State Literacy Lead with Patton, she has amazing Padlets that she has put together. She has two actually on sound walls. So I have linked in this presentation the sound wall resources Padlet and sound walls from the implementers. Tambra Eisenberg, who I mentioned in this presentation, has a section in that, as well as other teachers who have been implementing sound walls with their students. And then there's a wonderful app that you can get for free for Apple and Android devices called OG Card Deck. You can go through that and it will reference for you the articulatory features of sounds. If you have the volume turned up, you can actually hear the sounds, and it will associate some graphemes for you as well. So check out that OG Card Deck app. It would be a great tool to teach students how to use, so that they can use it during away from the table activities or other times during the day. All right, well, I'm so glad that you spent some time with me learning about the sounds of English. Again, this is not something that is easy. This is not something that we were taught, but it is something that is worth working toward and helping our students to become confident and capable readers. If there's anything that I can do to support you in your journey, please reach out. I look forward to hearing from you and working with you as you support your students in this incredible journey.